Hello, I'm Shelley Rothus and I'm a different kind of victim. Today's topic is going to be, what is normal? Has anybody heard the saying of, there is no normal? Well, I can honestly say I understand that now. So, the topic today is going to be, what is normal? Also along with, what to expect from others. This is going to go into domestic violence culture as I've changed it to. So, normal. When we hear that saying, well, at least I do when I hear it, is there is no normal. I think of people just doing silly things like myself. I have a very weird sense of humor. And, of course, most people would think that's abnormal. Well, expectations. I'll start with that. What should you expect? Well, I'll go along with my job. When you get a job, what do? You try to do the best you can, even without training. Of course, you would think, well, there's certain things that we should already know how to do, that we shouldn't need training to do. Well, it's not quite what I expected of people. Example, I go to work, I see the dishes have not been done, and there's a whole bunch of them. And there's quite a bit of people there, enough as to where at least one of them can do the dishes. Well, So, there's been a few times I've asked certain people, well, can you do the dishes? And they would tell me, well, I haven't been trained yet. What? I actually said to a couple of them, you really don't need training to do the dishes. Because I myself, I went to work, I did what I already knew how to do. If I seen dishes needed to be done, I did them. If I seen things needed to be cleaned, I did them. And I actually watched other people doing things and repeated it. Well, it's called laziness. And many people are lazy when it comes to even doing jobs at work. So now, domestic violence culture. This will go into the topic of what to expect and what is normal and not normal, and what that actually means. So everybody has their own opinion as to what is normal and what is not normal. It's same as what to expect and what you shouldn't expect. Now, one thing I teach about now is expectations of people. Everybody deserves to be respected. So expectations, many people have said to me, and I'm sure to many others, is you shouldn't expect anything from anyone. And to me, that's insulting, and it actually is part of domestic violence culture. We should all expect to be respected equally within all of our relationships. Now, equally, we give and we should receive as much as we give. So I will go to another recent situation. So this one person that I know that I work with, I'm not very close to and I'm not really friends with, had an incident as to where she was being abused by her partner. So now, the normal, as I see it, is people would reach out and try to help them. Even if it's calling the police, calling a shelter, giving them some resources that you know of that could possibly help them. No, that's where expectations, you would hope that people would do that. But what I've learned is that most people are very self-centered. Now that will go along with that saying, and I'm sure many have heard, everybody has heard, is if you see somebody on fire, what would you do? You know what? Most people are that self-centered that they'll just walk right by, not even caring to even, call 911. It's going to take them too much effort to pick up the phone and dial 911. Very true. Another recent incident that happened to me is people put notes about me around the building. I mean, this is something you would think only happens in like elementary school. Well, that goes back to sloppy, hypocritical ageism. Adults do it too. It has nothing to do with age. It has to do with the person. Don't ask me to understand them because I can't. That's how crazy it was to me. I mean, I laugh at it, if anything. They actually think it, hurt my feelings, It's the same as in school where somebody's passing around a note about somebody in the classroom and they're passing it on to this person. Let's see, oh, Sherry, she's fat, or Sherry has buck teeth. Pass it on. That's basically what these people did here. It was so pathetic and despicable. So how did people respond? What would you expect? You would expect that they would, at least I should say, I myself would expect somebody to look at that and concern that this person is being harassed. And possibly more. No, actually one person laughed about it right to me, telling me they saw it and they laughed about it. Another person tried to blame me for it happening. So, domestic violence culture, blaming the victim when I had done nothing to instigate that happening. This person had said from what past incidents such as sexual assault happening to me is that because of that is why this happened, as though it's my fault, telling me to back off. Wow. Domestic violence culture. That's why I changed it from rape culture. That's the same as telling a rape victim that it is their fault because they were there at that place at that certain time. It's their fault for being there. Not any different. So, expectations. Many people think that's because you shouldn't expect it because that's being selfish to expect it. That's how it was always said to me. So I'm changing that around to expectations is you shouldn't expect anything to save yourself from being hurt. Most people use it the other way, is that you're being selfish if you expect people to do what I would say a decent, kind person who's caring and respectful of others would see as normal. That's where I learned there is no such thing as normal. Just like with the job and what you would think people would know how to do and automatically do it without even being told. Not so much, no. Very untrue. That would be normal to me. To somebody else who's self-centered and only cares about themselves mainly, yeah, they're gonna stand around and do nothing and just watch everybody else do the work that actually has good work ethics. Same goes along with people who see harm being done to others. They'll engage in that abuse, encourage it, and enable it. That's correct. Expectations. That goes along with domestic violence culture because people who don't do things that, let's say, a good person who respects others would see as normal, don't do it and don't want to because they are very self-centered people. And what I've seen is that most people are self-centered. That's why my expectations are much, much lower than the old me had for people. That was because I couldn't imagine people just walking past someone if they're on fire. But now, I would not be surprised in the very least. So, domestic violence culture does go along with what the topic I'm talking about. Also, as I've pointed out, is sloppy, hypocritical ageism also applies based upon using age as maturity as to why people do things that should be seen as immoral. So when somebody reaches out for help or you see somebody in harm, like I did at work, I helped them. Now, When I was going through that myself, did anybody try to step up and help me? Even friends. The people that helped me the most were complete strangers. Basically like I am to this person. I barely know her, but I stepped up and helped her. So, today's topic was based upon what I've learned recently. And that's what the saying of there is no such thing as normal. There is no normal because most people are self-centered and don't have morals based upon what I see it should be is on respect. And that's why there's so many toxic relationships out there is due to people being very self-centered and having norms of not doing the right thing is what I should say. So right now I'm currently working on something and say, for instance, somebody you go to and you ask them to do the right thing. Let's say that they were a witness to somebody getting harmed. They say something like, well, I'm busy, I'm too tired, blah, blah, blah. Excuses, excuses. That's another reason why victims have a hard time going through with getting the offender who should be punished and they should get justice for the harm they caused that victim. That victim should get that justice. It often doesn't happen because people don't do what's right. Personal integrity. Doing what's right no matter who's involved. But also having personal integrity means that you are not self-centered and you're going to do the right thing. You're not going to tell that person that they are asking too much when that should be something that you expect within a relationship that with someone that respects you equally. But again, what is normal and expectations? I don't expect anybody anymore to not be self-centered and actually do the right thing because most people are self-centered and that's what I've come to learn. There is no normal because normal is very rare, especially when it comes to people who are respectful of others and actually do care about others besides themselves. So, the topic today was, what is normal? What should we expect? Yes, we should expect to be treated equally and with respect from others that we are in a relationship with. But, should we expect it? No. That's what that word should actually mean is we shouldn't expect it because you end up getting hurt because of those expectations. Not that you shouldn't expect it, you really should, but that's where personal boundaries comes into play too, as to cutting off those people that don't give back to you equally. That's what I've also learned based upon personal boundaries. And that also means that if that person didn't help me and give to me equally but expects me to do it for them, that's something I need to work on, is I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to help you. You weren't there for me when I needed you, so I'm not going to be there for you. That's right, equal. I'm doing equal. So that's it for today, based on the topic of what is normal, what to expect. Well, I hope I helped some people understand that a little bit better as to what my view upon it is against what others actually think it is. That's it for today. I'm Shelley Rothus, and I'm a different kind of victim. See you next time.